What's up, Aquamaniacs? Today I'm going to do a little planting update on the 22 gallon here, just show what plants I put in it and how I planted it. A few videos ago I made the hardscape on this thing. It sat for about 2 weeks, blacked out. I was doing 50% water changes every 2 days, just to get rid of that ammonia from the Amazonia. The Amazonia aqua soil I'm using, if you don't know, leaches a lot of ammonia out, so that's why I was doing so many water changes. I left the thing blacked out for 2 weeks because I was picking up plants. I was waiting for my plants to come in, so I didn't want any algae to grow if I left the lights on with no plants. I'm using reverse osmosis water because my tap water is trash. My GH is about 7 degrees of hardness and my KH is at 0. I'm remineralizing with salty shrimp. I think I am planning on getting some shrimp later too, probably some Neos. I found a good deal on some cherry shrimps, so hopefully I could get those this week. So let's get into the plants I got. I got some Rotala macaranda, Pogostemon Erectus, Amania bonsai, some HC Cuba carpeting plant, Ludwigia Crystal, RANUNCULUS, INUNDATUS, Eriocaulon Cinereum, Pink Flamingo Crypt, Litorella uniflora, and I got an Eriocaulon Q. Now this plant didn't show up in very good shape. I don't know if it's gonna survive, I hope it does. The Rotala macaranda also came in really mushy in the tissue culture, but I think that one is definitely gonna survive. The first thing I planted was the Eriocaulon Cinereum. I put it towards the front of the tank so that CO2 could drift by it. I'm using an extra pump in the corner with CO2 just so it shoots right across the front there. Now I had a bit of trouble making the aquarium look artistically nice while putting the plants where they need to be. This Eriocaulon needs a lot of flow, a lot of CO2, so it had to be towards the front where it's going to get all that. So I did have to adjust my idea of where I wanted plants so the plants could thrive in a place where they'll grow good. The next thing I planted was the ranunculus. I really like the leaf shape of this plant and I hope it works out. Back when I was using my old tap water, this plant immediately melted and didn't work for me, so I'm hoping it works for me now. Next I planted the Eriocaulon Q. This is the plant that showed up basically dead. It's been about 4 days since I recorded this and it's still looking dead, but I did notice a little bit of root growth and a few blades that are still alive, so hopefully it makes it. I'll be updating that in the future. Next I planted the Cryptocorini Pink Flamingo. I tried to give it a spot where it had plenty of room to grow. Next up, I planted the HC for a carpet. This was the most tedious part, it took a long time. I also found a really efficient way to plant this stuff. I held a little tuft of it in my offhand and I used the tweezers to just pull a little bit off and plant it. So I would pick off the piece I'm going to plant with the tweezers. So I planted the HC around the front of the left side, and I read that HC Cuba can kind of choke out Eriocaulon, so I didn't plant it too close to that, but I brought it all the way across the front to the other side. Next, I planted the Ludwigia Crystal. I think this is Ludwigia inclinata. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but I think that's what this plant is. If I recall correctly, this plant prefers soft water. So I planted the Ludwigia in the back right corner. Looking back at this hardscape, I think I put the back top right corner a little too high. As you can see, there's not that much room for growth of stem plants. So I'll be doing a lot of cutting and replanting. Next, I put the Amania bonsai in the back left corner. This stuff's also known as Rotala bonsai. Then I planted the Rotala macaranda right by it. I kind of blended these into each other. Next, I planted the Litorella uniflora. I put this in between the HC because I think it would look cool pointing out of the carpet. I really like this plant. It's like little grass blades, but they look like succulents. It's almost like a round grass. I'm kind of second guessing where I planted this because it's going to be coming straight out of the HC carpet, and when I go to trim the carpet, I don't really want to cut these blades, so I think it's going to make trimming kind of hard. I'll probably move it in the future. Last, I placed the Pogostemon in front of the Ludwigia Crystal. I also placed some kind of back in the middle just to see where it grows better. I've had trouble with this plant before. Also, I don't think this plant appreciates 0 kH, so I don't know how it's gonna do. So I saved some room in the back middle because I have some immerse growing water wisteria, variegated, and I think I'm gonna put that in the middle later. So this is what it ended up looking like in the end. I'll update you guys on the plant growth. I have a GoPro strapped to the side of the tank. It's taking time-lapse photos. I'll probably leave it there for about a month and then see what kind of time-lapse of growth we could get. Let me know if you guys like the setup, choice of plants, or if you'd change anything yourself. If you enjoyed this video, hit that sub button and notification button for more videos like this. And as always, thanks for watching. Peace.